We're on the road. Where transportation goes, community grows. Welcome to On the Road with the MTA. And welcome to another exciting edition of On the Road with the MTA. I'm Jay Gibbons alongside with Stephanie Kay from the MTA, who's sitting over there.
I'm right here.
Yes, you are.
And we have a guest in the studio today, which I love having them in the studio. It makes it so much nicer.
Me too.
We can see their faces.
See them, face. They smile.
Yes. You know? Their expressions. It's wonderful. And talk about a small world. You and I have worked. How long have you worked here, Jay?
Almost 7 years.
Okay, I'm going on 5, and we both have a. Go ahead and use that little.
I could, but it's on. This one's running right now.
All right. So. You and I have both had a history in radio, not together, but separately, and we came together for the podcast. But working here, I'm also helping with the Friends of Public Transportation golf outing.
And they are friends.
They are friends. And Grace Musolf was helping us a lot. She was retired, but I was out and about at a chamber event, and I happened to meet Grace's stepson. His name is Paul. And Paul's wife, Emily, is in the studio with us today because they're all connected in some way. And I love it when it's a small world like that.
The 6 phases of Kevin Bacon or whatever it's called?
6 degrees of separation.
That's 6 degrees of separation. Yes, that's it.
But anyway, Emily's a sweetheart, and she's in the studio with us today. It's Emily Musolf. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, she's a hardworking woman. I'll tell you how it all comes together. First of all, I know you work at Helping Hands. Mm-hmm. What is it you do there?
I am actually the accounting manager at Helping Hands Nursing Service.
Okay, what does that mean? Like, what does Helping Hands do?
So Helping Hand Nursing Service is a home health care company, and we help everyone from the VA to private care, home health aides, things like that. So we do a little bit of everything. We come into your home. We be able to help with home health aides, LPNs, RNs, things like that, and give people care.
Well, that's very important. I just talked to a friend of mine. He has to go in to get some knee surgery, and his friend had the insurance to where they would come into his house to help with that physical therapy. Another friend has to go in themselves, in a car and get there. And so they use MTA to get to their doctor's appointments. Does Helping Hands have something like that where they go to their house for physical therapy?
Not necessarily physical therapy, but if they need help with doing things around the house.
Oh, nice.
If they need help with a shower, running errands, things like that, they're definitely able to be there and help in any way they can.
That's so needed, especially if you had like a mother that needed something and you couldn't be home to help her. That would be wonderful. Now, my basement's a mess. Could they go over and clean that out, you think?
Maybe. I'm sure we might be able to work something out.
Okay, that'd be great. But on top of that, you actually started your own business with your husband, Paul. Yes. And tell us about that, because that's something totally different. And tell us how that got started and what you're doing.
Oh, man, we'd probably be here forever. So Paul and I created a nonprofit called Kitsune Defense. It is a self-defense organization. So our mission is to provide survivors with self-defense classes, survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence.
And that's so important because, like Paul said, there's a lot of things for them for their therapy, like so they can get their mind straight and feel. But when you're being abused like that, hadn't been abused, you feel hopeless, you feel scared, you feel like a victim, and you don't want to feel hopeless. And so this is helping them feel stronger all the way around, not just mentally but physically as well.
Absolutely, and it's one of the things that we found that is kind of a missing link in the community is there's opportunities that will provide housing and they'll provide therapy services and even financial assistance, but nobody is doing self-defense classes to help them not feel like a victim ever again.
Right.
So our self-defense entails not just teaching them techniques so that way they can feel empowered, but actually going through the process of helping them heal. So anything from self-care to remembering to drink water every day. So the whole process is just making you, giving you an opportunity to be part of the community, something that will make sure that you feel like yourself again and give you that value back.
Well, that's so important because I know on twofolds. One area, they say if you exercise, you walk, you feel more physically strength, that you're going to feel better mentally all the way around. And just the self-defense, I don't think we teach that enough to anybody. I mean, really, that should be for children and adults and women and children, everyone. But up in the IT department, I was talking to Jeremy, and Jeremy is a very thin individual, and he's very timid. He doesn't say much. He's very quiet. But he taught me 3 or 4 self-defense moves that made me feel empowered. It was like, how did you know that? Just by taking somebody's thumb and pulling it backwards or doing something that even as a woman I could do to a huge man. I thought that's really helpful. Yeah. Has he ever taught you that, Jared? Did you know about that?
I'm going to have to ask him that now.
Really?
Yes, I'm going to say, Jeremy, show me those self-defense methods that you showed.
Have him just show you like 2 or 3 because I forgot all of them. He showed me so many quickly, but I was impressed at how quickly they worked. He said, here, do it. Yeah. So
Yeah. My dad was in law enforcement, and he did the same kind of things. They show you how to, use pressure points to your advantage. Yeah.
So you don't have to be this big, strong person to actually take a big person down. You can do it very easily. So tell us more about that. How can somebody get a hold of you to say, I would like to have some classes for my child or for myself or for the family?
Yeah, absolutely. So my husband and I actually own a martial arts studio on top of that. So we have martial arts classes and self-defense classes combined. So
wow.
Yeah, right there in Flushing, Michigan, and everybody seems to, it's been there since 1993. So
really?
It kind of hides in
I guess
a little spot there. So
describe where it's located, because I know Flushing somewhat. Is it on the main highway or where?
It's just as you're going into Flushing, right off of Pearson Road. Okay. There's a Goodwill, and then there's Ads Plus, and a bunch of buildings there. And we're actually right in that building, and we're kind of like tucked away in there. So it's a small little place, but it's really quaint and traditional. And like a lot of people that come in, they say it feels like home. So that's what we try to embody when we're there. So we bring everybody in, make you feel like family. And if you're going to spend a lot of time training there, you might as well. So
yeah. Well, it all comes together because I saw your husband at a chamber event, and we were talking about the importance of the August millage is coming up for MTA, and that's on August 6th. And the support for that helps out so much to give free rides to the veterans and their families to go to something like Helping Hands if they have to go someplace, or to go to see you too with the martial arts. Yes. As you could take your ride, Rides to Wellness. We have so many different transportation forms that this millage really helps us with. Yeah. So there is a Friends of Public Transportation golf outing that is actually helping with the millage. And you were kind enough to sponsor that with a tea and green sign. And you are going to hand out these flyers that talk about how you can be a stronger player with golf. So it helps with everything.
Absolutely. Self-defense isn't just, hey, I'm going to learn techniques because something bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, who wants to walk around life and being afraid of everything? That's
right.
not the point at all. The whole point of self-defense is to make you feel empowered and to make you feel confident in your everyday life. Because there's so many times you're just walking around and you're staring at your feet as you're walking. So it just gives you that opportunity to be comfortable with yourself, learn more about yourself, and have a whole new identity to where you can feel comfortable just existing in the world. So
it's a fun way to get fit, because if you think I have to go to the gym and I have to work out 3 days a week and have to lift weights, you're like, I don't want to do that. But this is fun.
Yes.
And it makes
absolutely.
you feel good.
Yeah. No, I hate going to the gym.
I know.
I'm not a gym goer.
Yeah.
So, and I have some health issues of my own that I deal with too. So martial arts is a perfect way to be able to get the right balance of cardio and weightlifting and build that strength up and still be able to maintain it in a really fun way.
Fun way. It's so much fun. I know my little nephew is really tiny for his age, and kids were kind of picking on him. And I saw him struggling with that, and he started taking karate classes, and he's a black belt now. He has this cute little white outfit. He's only 2 foot tall. And he just has a little kicks. And he's like, look, Mom, look what I can do. So he feels so empowered now, which is wonderful.
Absolutely.
Can you do some moves? Do you know them yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
I actually have my black belt. I got that in 2006.
Wow.
What?
Yep. And then I actually just received my second degree recently. So I took a little bit of time off because life happens. And so I was going to college and things like that. And so I've more recently got my second degree black belt, and I just gonna continue to go up from there. So
that is impressive.
Yep.
How about Paul? Let's see if his black belt yet.
Yeah, so Paul actually got his black belt in 2009, and he actually just received his 4th degree black belt, which in the history of our dojo hasn't happened. So he's like one of a kind right now. So he's really special.
See, he's not somebody you think a bodybuilder and this big guy's going to take down. He seems very kind and nice and gentle, but I bet you he could take any one of us down if he had to, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And what you don't know is when you do look at him, he's so sweet and he's so kind, but he actually does this thing called iron palm training, and he can break coconuts with his hand.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
If I'm ever stranded on a desert island, I want him to be there so I can have some coconut milk.
Oh, he's got you. No problem.
Have you watched him do it?
Yes. Yep.
And it's just a pressure, or is it how does he do that?
So it's like a consistent training. So you just go to the store, get a coconut, and what you're doing is you're just letting gravity take your hand down, and you just relax. And it's just that consistent driving force that you just
crack it right in half.
Yeah. So, and eventually you can add some power into it, but the constant conditioning of your hand actually makes it easier, and your hand starts getting used to it. And I don't know all the intricacies, so I apologize.
No, you should.
I'm
That's
just like, hey, you're doing really great. It's really cool. So
coconut milk. Yeah.
You broke the coconut. Yeah.
So it's just another form of conditioning. So, and eventually you can break a coconut. So, and it takes about roughly 3 months it takes him to do it.
To train
for that.
Yeah.
But he's been
Not
doing
to open the coconut, but to train to open the coconut.
Yeah.
It takes 3 months to open it.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever tried to open a coconut with a hammer? I mean, it is hard to do.
Yeah. Coconuts are hard.
Did you guys watch Stowaway with Tom Hanks? He used a skate. He used
he tried to get that coconut. It took him forever to get it open.
I know.
Yeah.
He didn't have Paul there on the island with him to do it.
No, see, missed opportunity.
That is so interesting. Or he could use a human skull. You could.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm only kidding.
Yeah, and I'm saying human skull ought to break fast. So.
So do you guys have children?
Paul actually does have some children. I do not. But I consider all of our students my children.
Your children,
so,
yes.
There you go.
Which I'm very thankful for, because balancing them is a lot. So
You're wise.
I couldn't imagine coming home to my own children at that point. So
go home without taking them with you. That's a wise woman. So the reason I ask is it's a good age to start a child. Like, what's the earliest you can start?
The earliest. So Paul's great with kids. I'm a little bit more structured. So that's why he teaches the kids class. So you can start them anywhere from 4 to 8.
Okay.
But they have a special type of learning. So it's not fully karate classes. It's more of like learning things like leadership and self-control, and learning things on how to understand learning. So they're like little skills. So
perfect.
But for the real martial arts classes, we tend to stick between 8 and 10 is how we start. That way it's easier for them to start understanding the techniques and the things that we're talking about. So.
And there's no age limit to the very end, right? You can do it if you're 90.
Yep.
Take it.
Absolutely.
It's got to keep you fit too. There's hope for us, Jay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's hope for me. It's like, yes.
Absolutely. It's a good thing to get into, and not just because I own it, but martial arts is a great thing to get into because it's not super heavy on all of your joints and all of your muscles.
Yeah.
And you can still get all of the same things with going to the gym and martial arts, and you have a better community. So.
Yes. Well, they say that weightlifting is really good for your muscle tone, but if you don't have any weights, you use your own body weight to do that.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you can teach them to do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely do that on a daily basis.
Yes.
Come try a class.
So tell us again how, if somebody's listening and they think, I want to get started with any of that, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, we're located in Flushing at the same plaza as Ads Plus. It's 771 East Main Street. And it's really cool because we're right across the street from a cookie shop too. So you can work out and then you can get a treat and reward yourself at the end.
Yeah, there we go. Work off those calories. I love it. Is there a phone number, website?
Yep. So our website is heiankaratedo.net, or you can visit our nonprofit site, which is kitsunedefense.org.
Okay, you might need to spell those two things out for us.
Yeah. So Heian Karate Do is HeianKaratedo.net.
Okay.
Had to think about that myself.
Oh, yeah. And Kitsune.
And then Kitsune Defense
Kitsune.
is KITSUNEDEFENSE.org.
I got to think about it, don't you? Got to see it right now. I know.
Okay.
Then I start getting everything all jumbled up. So because then we have both of them, but either one will redirect you to both of the sites too. So we have both of them on.
Oh,
the
perfect.
Website, so
well, how do you balance all of that? Because you're working with Helping Hands and you're trying to do the studio.
lots of caffeine.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Lots of caffeine, and I'm really thankful to have an amazing husband that helps me all that too. So we both trade on and off with instructing and things like that too, and he's the best partner I could possibly ask for.
That is so
Awesome.
sweet.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, now you told me off the air, but tell Jake in a nutshell how you guys met, because I love that. It's a sweet story.
Oh, yeah. So Paul and I actually met because we started training at the dojo that we now own. And so I started when I was 11, and I got my black belt in 2006. And then that was the same year that Paul started. And when he came in, he was so young. And all he wanted to do was learn how to kick people in the head. He's just like, he needed something to do because he had quit smoking and he was just trying to figure out something else to do with his life. So, so he came in and we met him, and he was such a goofball. And so we've been friends for 16 years. And then it wasn't until recently that we actually reconnected on our martial arts level and became
And you
we came together. So
you said the owner gifted him the business.
Yes.
That shows a lot of respect for somebody, and he really trusted Paul to do that.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Is the owner still alive?
Yes.
So he can see the success that you guys have had. Oh, I gotta love that.
Yep. We actually just saw him. We just recently got married in Florida about 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Wow.
congratulations!
Well, congratulations. That's
I didn't realize it was that new.
Yes. Yeah. Well, because it feels like forever. Because when you've known somebody for 16 years and we already lived together, but when you feel like you've known somebody for that long, you're just like, okay, I'm just really excited to have a vacation so I can breathe for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So
And the ring and the honeymoon's always the best too.
Oh yeah, it was so nice, and we got really nice, pretty pictures while we were down there, and we got to just sleep in, which was really nice. But
yes.
our instructor was down there too, and he actually signed our new certificates for our new ranks and everything, which was really nice too.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful, Emily. I'm so happy for you.
That's awesome.
I'd like to see some wedding pictures if I could, please.
oh, absolutely, I got plenty of them.
Okay, good. I know this is video. I mean, there's no video, it's just audio, but I'll
Right.
see the pictures later.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to cover before we let you go back to your many jobs?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, well, I guess I could say this. Kitsune Defense is something that Paul and I are really passionate about because it's not just, yes, our mission is to empower survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence, but it's to give self-defense to everybody because everybody could use it. You shouldn't wait until the last minute where you're like, oh, something bad happened to me, so now I should learn self-defense.
Right.
It's so good for you mentally as well as physically because I know that when I was struggling in my life, I knew right off the bat, I knew where I needed to go. And I went back to martial arts and I worked on my self-defense and I worked on that stuff. And, the change just with how you feel every day, it's almost instantaneous when you start doing that. So, and there's an amazing community that we've built up. And then we have a network of people all over the world with martial artists and self-defense people. And we try to incorporate everything we possibly can. So things from different styles, law enforcement, any type of legal changes that happen, trauma informed care, because you never know if something might trigger you. So we try to bring everything we possibly can into our program in order to give people the best quality and training. So
I can tell you're passionate about it. And I could tell talking to Paul how passionate he was about it too.
I was just trying not to ramble because I'm like, I could talk about this all day. So.
He was talking about it. He got up to talk about it during the chamber. And he was talking about, well, when your kids go off to college, you want them to, have a better, be able to protect themselves. And somebody in the audience said, oh, I thought you were going to say you learn to kick them out of the house. Kickbox, karate. No, that was funny.
Well, clearly they weren't talking to my mom because she probably would keep me forever. So.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Well, you guys are both a delightful couple, and I'm so proud of you. And I think it's imperative that everybody learns self-defense. Yes. Men and women, especially children too. I think children and women mainly, but everybody. It's good for everyone.
Absolutely. And it's so good for your mental health. And I'm not kidding when I say it'll help you remind you to drink your water during the day. It definitely will. So self-care is super important. And that's one of the things that comes along with self-defense. So it's just self-protection and making sure that you give value to yourself.
Well,
And of course, if you pay a little extra to Paul, he'll teach you how to kick somebody in the face.
Oh, totally. And he totally can too. It blows my mind. I'm like, how can you get your leg that far up there?
Yeah.
It's insane. So he's got a lot of skills, not just with our style of martial arts and self-defense and everything. We also train in different styles too, but he's an incredible person. So
he is, I could tell.
It's crazy.
You need to have a little video of a fake body with a coconut as the head and have him go up there and kick that off.
I'm definitely going to tell him that.
Good
too.
idea.
I'd love to see that. That could be your motto.
Absolutely. And then we'll send it right over to you. You guys can have it.
Well, thank you so much, Emily. How informative. We really appreciate that. And thank you for supporting the golf outing that we have. That definitely helps when it comes to that millage in August, because that's going to help MTA a lot as well. So
Big time.
And thank you so much for letting me come in here and chat with you guys. I really appreciate it. It's a fun time.
Absolutely. Anytime. Come back maybe later on and tell us how things are going, if you have anything new going. I know you just had a fundraiser for the community.
Yeah. Yep, we did. We actually just had a fundraiser on June 1st. And it was our first official one,
Yes.
which was fun. We had music by the Lucky Nows, and the lead singer is actually one of our students, and she helps us
nice.
with all of her self-defense too. So her name is Jen Janetsky, and she's amazing. If you haven't had a chance to meet her, She is an incredible person. She is actually like one of the high-end prosecutors for sex crimes and things like that.
Really?
Oh, wow.
She
Nice.
does so many things, and she's incredible. So we're really lucky to have her. And so on top of all of that stuff, she also is in a band, and she's amazing. So if you ever have a chance to look up the Lucky Nows, definitely
I
do
will.
it. So
I would love that.
Yeah,
I love
so-
music, and my brother was in a band, and he was a musician. So yeah, I'd love to hear all that.
yeah,
Very cool.
so it was a great event. We did music, food, and all the good things, and just enjoying each other and hanging out and support a good cause.
What was a good cause? What was a cause you were giving to?
Supporting our mission for empowering survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence, and being able to get the word out there and be able to provide those self-defense classes for them, so that way they don't ever have to feel like that again.
Good turnout. You had a good turnout for the first one?
Yeah,
Good.
it was really great.
Well, I know you're going to have more of them, and we welcome you to come back on and talk about those.
I will come to you. You'll be the first person I call.
All right.
look at that.
I'll be there.
All right.
I know. There you go. Well, thank you for coming in. Thank you for listening. We do this every week. It is On the Road with the MTA, Stephanie K. and Jay.
That's right.
And you make it happen. Jay, if they want to be a guest, how can they do that?
Just drop us an email at podcast@mtaflint.org.
Well, thank you. We'd like to have you on too. Thanks for listening, and please stay safe.
You've been listening to On the Road with the MTA. For more information on our services and community outreach, visit us online anytime at www.mtaflint.org. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The MTA, your community, your connection, your way.